Hey folks, I am Troy and you're watching TroyTube. My last video was about how to improve your print quality on your printer and how to deal with print clogs, print head clogs, things of that nature, and how to try to prevent some of those things. But no one ever really talks about print head alignments. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So in my last video, I talked about print clogs, nozzle checks, cleanings, things of that nature in order to improve the print quality from your printer. And most of these are Epson Eco tanks that we're dealing with as far as what our customers have. But these principles apply to pretty much any inkjet printer, whether it's sublimation or regular inkjet or whatever. But in all the conversation that goes on in all the Facebook groups about doing nozzle checks and print head cleanings and things of that nature, nobody really talks about print head alignments. And the Epson Eco tanks have this feature. I would know the other Epson models do too. I'm not sure about the other brands of models, but I would imagine they have pretty much the same features because they all have, they all kind of work the same way as far as the mechanics goes. So we're going to take you through a print head alignment on an Epson Eco tank and use that to even further improve your print quality. Now, a lot of people kind of get a little bit antsy about some of these things, and they start thinking about them, and they start thinking, oh, well, maybe I need to run a printer head cleaning, or a power cleaning just because it's been used for 6 months or something like that. And they think, is this something I should just be doing regularly all the time anyway, or what? In most cases, those print head cleanings, especially power cleaning, should be used sparingly, only when they need to be used. You can run the nozzle check, and that'll tell you if you need to take next steps or not. With a print head alignment, it's probably a good idea to do this, depending on how much you use your printer. Maybe every few months, maybe once a month, maybe every 6 months, depending on, like I said, how much you use it. And, it's not going to hurt anything. It doesn't take very long to do it. And I think it's probably a good idea to just run this every now and then just to make sure your print heads are in alignment. And the reason is because those print heads move back and forth across the page, and they're mechanical devices which will induce wear and tear on them, and they can get out of alignment, just like your car front end gets out of alignment the more you drive it, the more potholes you hit, things like that. So the print heads can get out of alignment as well. So I'm going to move the camera around. We're going to go through the print head alignment procedure, and this is done on the control panel on the front of the printer. And every Epson model, some of them are just a little bit different, but it's generally going to be under that maintenance menu, and you'll find the print head alignment utility. And basically what it's going to do is print out several pages one at a time, and it's going to ask you which one is the best image. It prints out blocks that are butted up against each other and maybe some overlapped. We'll see what it comes out on camera here when we go through the steps, but then it gives you several of those to choose from. You have to tell the printer which one's the best one, and it uses that to align the heads. So let me move the camera around and we'll get started on the print head alignment procedure. Okay, for reference, this is an Epson Eco Tank 4800. Most of them are all going to be very similar as far as how you get to this. The interface and the screen may look just a little bit different, but in this one, I like to always hit the home key first to make sure I'm out of the main menu, and then you can scroll through and look for the maintenance settings. And when you select that and hit OK, you can scroll through that until you get to the print head alignment. And when you hit OK, there are two. There's a vertical and a horizontal alignment. And we're going to do the vertical alignment first. So we're going to hit OK. It tells you to load a letter or a size plain paper in the tray, which I've already done. And so I'm going to hit print. Now essentially this is going to print out a full page. It's a grid of little blocks that we're going to go through and select the best ones and then tell the printer which ones were the best, and it will use that to align vertically. And then we're going to do the same thing for the horizontal alignment. Okay, so this is the vertical alignment grid, and what you'll see is, I'll try to zoom in so you can see this. So it prints these little blocks, and you'll see that some of these blocks have little faint white lines in them vertically, and this is similar to the banding issue that I talked about in the other video where the paper type selection isn't quite right. So this prints out this grid, and then you go through and tell the printer which ones are the best looking blocks as far as how it has the little blocks butted up against each other. So I can very easily see by looking at this that number 3, number 4, number 4, number 5, number 5 again, number 5, and number 5 are the best ones. So the first three are number 3, 4, 4, 5, and the rest 5s. So now we'll go over to the printer and we'll put these in and indicate, tell the printer basically these are the blocks that look the best, and then we'll move on to the horizontal alignment. So now the printer, as you see on the control panel, says to look at the printout, choose the boxes with the least lines on this next screen, select the number. We'll hit OK to continue. And here the default selection is 3. Default is 4. Default is 4. So I'm on line number 4, and this rest of these are 5s. So I need to change the rest of them. And the vertical alignment is complete. Now we'll move on to the horizontal alignment, and it goes through the same procedure, and it will essentially do the exact same thing for us. Now the horizontal alignment is a little bit simpler. It gives you 7 different blocks and tells you to pick out the best one. So these 2 blocks are basically butted up against each other like this, and you can see that some of them have a darker line where it's overlapped, and looking down through here, visibly, probably the best one. Boy, these last 3 are really close. So I'm going to go with number 6, the one in the middle. You can really not tell that it's blended at all on the edge. I can see a little bit the more I look at number 5. But these last 3 are really close, but I'm going to choose number 6, and we'll tell the printer that number 6 was the best. That's all there is to it. Simple print head alignment can improve your print quality, believe it or not. It doesn't hurt the printer. It just takes a few minutes. So again, it prints out a grid for the vertical alignment, and you tell it each line that has the best block with no vertical lines in it, and then it prints out a series of horizontal blocks, and you pick just the one that is best. For each of those, you tell the printer which one turned out the best for you, and that completes the alignment. So this is kind of like, if you remember the old televisions, the old projection big screens, I'm talking about the big boxes that people used to have, the big rear projections. They had color guns in them. They had RGB, red, green, blue, and those lenses would get out of alignment. Sometimes you could see like little shadows of red and green and blue around the images, and then you would have to run an alignment procedure on those to align those color guns so that the pictures were clear on them. And that's somewhat what's happening here. You could end up with some ghosted images or lines in between the prints that are similar to the banding issue that we talked about in the previous video. So print head alignment, real simple procedure. You should probably just do this periodically just to check it and make sure that it stays in alignment, especially if you're going to print a lot of things, or maybe if you're printing a batch of items for someone and you want to make sure that they're all quality and consistent, and that you're not going to have any problems with that. So if you have any questions or comments, post them down below the video. Hey folks, I just wanted to take a minute to thank everyone for the love, kindness, and support that you've provided to Tammy and I over the past several years. It's been almost 10 years, believe it or not, been 8.5 years since we bought our first Cricut, so we're almost a decade into new careers for both of us. So when you buy great products like Orcal 651, Thermaflex, heat transfer vinyl, DPI sub, premium sublimation ink, blanks, any of those things that you buy from our site help support us and our employees' families. Don't forget about our subscription and membership, which gives you access to our e-learning courses and also significant discounts on product purchases as well. So if you like our videos and everything we do, click the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And when you do, click the bell next to it so that you'll get notified when I publish new videos. And then in the video description, there's also links to all of our Facebook groups, our Facebook pages. So joining those groups, liking our pages, leaving us reviews helps us out immensely. And we thoroughly enjoy every minute of this journey along this path with you to bring love, kindness, and hope to the world using your crafting hobby or small business, whether it's been in person, on the phone, or through social media.